Punithyam and I am a student of Venkteshwara College of Engineering. Myself Punithyam and my class is 4th Sem Bhaskara. Subject is DBMS Database Management System and the topic is ER Model Concepts. What is ER? Entity Relation Model Concepts. And I welcome all you to my YouTube channel once again. Now we'll see the overview of the entity and attributes, about the attributes, entity types, value set, attributes, weak entity types, and the ER model symbols. First, we'll see what is this entity and relation, about that attributes. First, what is this entity? Entity are the specialized objects or things in the mini world that are represented in the database. What are attributes? Attributes are the properties used to describe an entity. You can see here, this is the entity name and this is entity, and these are known as the attributes. Among them, this is the primary attribute. We'll go to the types of attributes. There are mainly 4 types of attributes. You can see in the next slide. I'll show the examples how it is pictorially represented. First, you will see what is a symbol. Each entity has a single atomic value for an attribute called as SSN, sex, and ID, etc. And we'll come to the composite attributes. The attribute may be composite for several components. For example, address. If you take an address, if address that has a house number, apartment number, street, city, state code, and what is it, pin code, and then the country, etc. like that. If you come to the name also, first name, last name, middle name, etc. they will go. We'll come to the next type, that is multi-valued. This multi-valued, what is this multi-valued? An entity may have the multiple values for an attribute. Example, like color of a car. The color may be red, green, blue, etc. And if you take the phone number also, the person may have not only one, more than one phone numbers, like that. If you take the degree for a lecturer, he will have the B.Tech, M.Tech, PhD, like that, so on. And we'll come to the stored or derived attributes, that attributes that which are derived from the another attribute. Let's take like date of birth. If your date of birth is 2004, and if you want to calculate the age by using the date of birth, current year minus the date of birth, you can get the age of a person. And here you can see, I said no, this is the attribute symbol. And if it is having multiple attributes, it is mentioned as double circles. This is the composite attributes, key attributes, and this is the partial attribute, derived attribute, and the key attribute will underline that. So entity type and key attributes. What is this entity? Entity with the same basic attributes are grouped or typed into an entity type. For example, employee and project. An attributes of an entity type for which each entity must have the unique value called as key attributes of an entity type. Example, SSN of an employee, because there will be no, like USN of a student. I have having 1V22 CS 120, and no one will have that USN in the whole college and the whole university, like that. And the key attribute, I have said that it is underlined. The entity type may have more than one key attributes, and the key attributes may be composite. We'll come to the entity set. What is this entity set? And each entity type will have a collection of entities stored in the database called as entity set. Previous slide shows that 3 car entity instance is the entity. If you are taking a multiple entity, like this collection of entities is known as entity set. Entity set is the current state of an entity that has a type that are stored in the database. Same like that. We'll come to the what is this weak entity types. The entity that does not have a key attributes is known as weak entity types. The weak entity must participate in the identifying relation type with the owner or identifying entity types. Entities are identified by the combination of partial key of a weak entity type and the partial entity that are related to the individual entity type. Example, we'll see the department having the partial key, name of the department and weak attributes to the department, etc. You can read here and see. Now we'll come to the ER model symbols. What is this ER model symbols? How this is represented? Here you can see that the entity which is represented by the square rectangle, weak entity which is represented by double rectangle, associated entity, diamond which is rhombus or diamond, it is enclosed in a rectangle. Then it is a relationship, identifying, mandatory, and here you can see the attribute. I have said the key attributes will be underlined. Here you can see the key attribute is underlined. Attribute, multi-valued, which is double circle. Derived attribute, we have derived the attribute like age from the date of birth, it is in this, and the total participation and partial is single line and total participation double line. And that's all for today's session, bro. And I think you have enjoyed the session and learned some of the topics that are related to Dbms. And do follow me on the YouTube so that you'll be getting the updates of the Dbms, ADA, etc. and all. Thank you for listening and do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.